CineCreed is an application for movie enthusiasts who want to dig and explore deeper into the movie industry. Users can visualize IMDb's movie database. The motivation is that I love watching movies, and most of the time, I would like to know the details and information about the movie I watched to learn more about that movie. Here is a demonstration for searching movies. First, the user can type in what movies or year or director or star that they want to see, such as Star Wars. Double-click on the interested movie. Then, the user can compare the movie by attribute, such as year, runtime, or rating. And if the user wants to remove or deselect one of the movie, the user can just double-click on the selected movies table. I use layer architecture to design my program. In the representation layer, there is a main application class that is responsible for displaying the GUI to the users and also interacting with the users. In the domain layer, there are three classes. The first one is the Movie Manager Facade, which is a class that uses a facade pattern to make it easier for accessibility to the domain layer. It uses two classes. The Graph Plotter class that is responsible for plotting graphs to be used in the main application, and the Movie Data Manager that is responsible for managing data that get from the database connector class in the infrastructure layer, which is responsible for loading the data from the data files to the program. Next is the sequence diagram when the user wants to visualize the rating distribution through a histogram. The design patterns that I use in my projects are a layer architecture and a facade pattern. Most used TK-Inter widgets in my projects are label frames that is used for grouping up the buttons to make it look more clean, and button that is used for the event trigger for the program to change page, update, and visualize graphs. The TTK Triview is also one of the key widgets in my project, as the users can use it to search and select the movies for comparing the selected movies. The data source used in my project is IMDb movie dataset or movies by genre from Kakko.com. It includes movie metadata such as movie name, total runtime, genre, rating, director, and gross in US dollars from the IMDb website. The data comes in multiple files, so I have to combine all the data to make it more convenient for the users. There are data that are duplicated from having multiple files, and I dropped the duplicated data. I sorted the data from the highest to lowest rating. I removed the word min from the runtime attribute to make it usable in comparison. The users can visualize the distribution of rating through a histogram, the number of movies production by genre throughout the years by line graph, the relationship between attributes by scatterplot, the connection of high gross movies based on their shared genres by network graph, and lastly, comparing the difference between two movies through bar charts. In my project, the user can visualize the connection between movies with gross over $300 million based on their shared genres. I want to check for the connection of movies to determine if there are any movies that are not connected to other movies with gross over $300 million list. Therefore, a component graph problem can be applied to achieve this idea to see if all movies are connected. I model the unrelated movie problem as a graph problem, with the vertices as the movies with gross over $300 million and edges as the shared genres between two movies, and they are undirected. Breadth first search algorithm is used to solve this problem with a total runtime of O n squared times k times. In the requirements, only 2 default graphs are needed, but in my project, it provides the user with 5 graph types for the user to visualize the data. The 2 default graphs are rating distribution histogram and the number of movies production throughout the years, line graph. 3 more graphs are for better user experience while using my program. Thank you for watching.